the cost of everything, it has gone round now. It's affecting everybody. It has cut across the nation entirely. Precisely in Abuja now, the cost of things have gone up. Cost of commodities have gone up. Transport fare is on the increase on a daily basis. And we could say generally people are trying to cope with the current challenge we are facing now. But really, we believe that one day God is going to intervene. Sorry to say that government will intervene, because we don't see that happening in the nearer future. There are places, because really commodities comes with demand. Areas where there are high demand, you see high in price, and choice areas where you see people who have the capital to buy some of these things, the prices are high. Like for me, I would advise people within FCT that stays within Nyanya, Karo, Orozo. I think they find life a bit less expensive compared to people that stays within the federal capital territory, and especially to those which their earning income are really low. You see, you cannot be earning 150,000 naira and survive in Abuja, in FCT to be precise, a month. It is not possible. You cannot earn 150 and 150,000 naira and survive in Abuja. It's not possible. Majority of the challenges we face is that every day there is usually hike in price, and these drivers will blame it on fuel prices and all of that. So we are advising, even in spite of the hike in price, you still see that we experience hold up, especially coming from the Nyanya axis. There is no day you're going and coming that you don't experience hold up. Part of this is affecting the economy and is also affecting us, especially the hold up. So we are calling on to government, if they can try to see how they can expand the Nasarawa Axis Road, which is a federal project. If they can expand it, that is going to lessen and cushion for most of us that come all the way from Nasarawa State to work in the FCT. It's really challenging, but you have no option, because this is where your greener pasture lie. Definitely you must find your way to come into the town to do one or two things that you need to do that day.
Landlords are increasing. I'm not sure it's yearly anymore. I think it's almost monthly. As if they throw money around for people to pick and pay rent. Rents are really high these days. I think it's everywhere. It's everywhere, because in Jukwe, those that used to pay 500, they increased it to like 700, 800. And then I hear somewhere in Nyanya, Maraba, they've increased houses as well. And you know, Maitama, everywhere. It's just so high everywhere. I do business. The high cost of living is affecting every aspect of life, especially with fuel and every other, in fact, everywhere. I drive to work, and then, you know, fuel are expensive. Sometimes I pick people, and then you hear them say, "Madam, please just help me, just drop me out," you know. And when talking, you get to realize that people are going through a lot in their homes. People are going through a lot in Nigeria. The government really needs to come in and do something. Reduce things, help people. The salaries are not enough anymore. We that do business, we don't see people coming in for businesses anymore. It's so alarming. The high cost of things is so alarming these days, and it's not funny really. It's almost as if everywhere is so high. But okay, the suburbs like Nasarawa, Maraba, Ado, Masaka or something, I don't know. Though I don't live around there, but I still know things are high there. Houses are high there. Food and everything is just so high these days. You don't know what to say or what not to say about where you don't stay. Let them create more houses, help people, help the Nigerian citizen get more houses at cheaper rates, so that it can help the civil servants that has little or nothing to run home to at the end of the month. I think that would do.
Cost of living in Abuja, that's another terrible stuff we are facing today. A lot of things in Abuja has gone high. You can't even buy anything. You have your money, but you can't see good food to eat. You have your money. Okay, just check out the sachet water we drink today. At least some people are selling 30 naira, some people are selling 50 naira, depending the location you go. Depending on how the person wants it. Because what I normally tell people is you work according to what you have. There are some areas, like when you go to Duromi, there are some houses in Duromi that are lesser. The same Duromi, there are some that are higher. So it's a thing of choice. The only thing I can tell you, when you're coming to Abuja, just have it in mind that you have to spend, but if you exercise patience, you will still make it. Government should try much on that, because a lot of houses inside the town are empty. A lot of them are empty. And the same people that are chasing out of the places they are living, just like Zurobi, sometimes they will come for demolition and other places. Those are the same people helping them out. So they should look for a way to make those houses empty for those people to pack in there to stay.
Cost of living in FCT is very expensive, very, very expensive. Until you live in Abuja, you will know how expensive it is. You can't walk out with 10,000 naira and think you are holding money. You go to the market with 20,000 naira, you can't even hold a leather bag to your house. Everything is expensive. What you buy today, 1,000 naira, by tomorrow you will realize that it is 1,200. Everything is getting high on the daily basis, and there is nobody that controls the price of cost of living in FCT. Even if there is, we don't seem to see their effect. They are really not working as it's expected to be. FCT is expensive, transportation is expensive, food is expensive, water is, everything is expensive. And these things is telling on the lower class. Just check the street. If you want to know that life is expensive, check the street. How many vehicles are moving on the streets? Most of the places that we used to have hold up, you don't see it anymore. And all this thing is boiled down to cost on fuel. From the very first day, Tinubu made a pronouncement of the cost of fuel. That very day, I dropped my car. Up to today, I never started again. Because I can't afford to buy a fuel into a car that usually is 15,000. I'll be paying like 45,000 naira. For a journey of 2 hours, the fuel is finished, or 3 hours or 4 hours, the fuel is finished. How much am I making? And there are a lot of jobless people moving in FCT. When you talk about areas being expensive, depending on the kind of people that live in the areas and the kind of people who lives in those particular areas. You see, somebody who can afford to live in, let's say, Lugbe, for him, the cost of living there may be expensive for him. And he feels, okay, let him manage his life in that place. Those who live in Matama, who say to Asokoro and all that, they realize that the cost of living there is also hiking on daily basis. So everywhere is expensive. I can't say, depending on the class of person that is living. Some cannot afford to pay house rent that used to be 60,000, 70,000, 80,000 naira. By a room, it is now going for 120 or 150,000 naira in a suburb. On daily basis, transportation is high. Is very, very high. This morning I have to stand for close to 2 hours before I was able to get a vehicle to where I'm going, because it's not just apart from the cost, because there are limited vehicles, limited mobility to convey people, and the people that needed to go to town, there are many. So they hike the price, they don't control the price. So your own is to struggle to see a vehicle to enter. Any price they tell you, you bear with it. And that's how it is. I wouldn't even advise somebody to come and start living in Abuja. If you want to come to FCT, please make sure that you have somebody in FCT that you can squat with. Because if you don't have a job, you come to FCT, the cost of living, once you pay, it's not about paying the first rent. When you pay the first rent, what about the 12 months we end? You are expected to renew and there is no good job. What will you do? So look for somebody that you know that lives in FCT, in any area of FCT, that can agree to accommodate you. Stay with the person until you get your foot before you rent house. All this demolition they are doing, me, I feel that these things is destroying our economy. If a house is built and you don't want the house to be in that area, give us reasons why you don't want the house. They will tell you about master plan and all that. The master plan ends only on the poor man. All these big men, their houses, you hardly can find them being demolished. I expect that the landmass that we have in FCT is so large government should begin to think of moving into this forest area, develop this area, or give these places to developers. Let them actually develop these houses. If possible, allocate this land to people who can actually build something by themselves. Some people have little money they want to build, but they are also afraid they can't afford to get allocation that they can build a house. If you try it, sometimes you fall into the hands of fraudsters.
What I can say about the cost of living in Abuja is actually high. So it depends on how you cut your coat according to your clothes, but it's actually high. Places that houses are expensive are the central areas, Wuse, Meitama, Sokoro and all that. But there are other places that houses are not that expensive, like the let's say the suburb, the federal housing, Nyanya, Apo, resettlements, and other parts. The challenges I face daily is I think the traffic from Yanya downtown. It's always something else. The traffic, that's the challenge. So sometimes I have to wake up very very early so as to beat the traffic. Yeah, I'll choose. Let's say it depends actually. I can, based on the cost of the person, I can suggest the person take places like Nyanya, the suburbs, in town, rather than the central area, because those places are very high. I think the government should build more, government houses like government estates, where the prices can be affordable, or they can, lease it out for people to pay for a particular time. So I think that will solve that problem.
Actually, things are very expensive in Abuja. Anyhow, the government can put, which will help us. We are really suffering. We are suffering, especially in Abuja. Things are very cost. Things are very expensive. Like in my area that I live, anything that I want to buy, even water, a rubber of water is 15 naira in my side there. And even the house we are living, the rent is very expensive. A room where self-contained is 450. So I don't know, we really need government intervention. We need government to help us. We are really suffering. We need help. Presently now, I can't really say. It's just all Abuja a whole is expensive, except you go to Nasarawa. And if you live in Nasarawa, before you can come to town, to your working places, you spend a lot of money. We face a lot, especially transport of a thing. The money for transport is high. Like from AYA to town, you spend like 500. Not like before, we spend 200 before you get to town. But now we spend 500, even more than that, just to go. Then going and come, we spend less than 1,500 a day. How much are we receiving? How much is our salary? Most of us we are collecting 40,000, 50,000. Then when you minus your transport fare inside, there is nothing left for you to eat. Government should assist. It should help us. They know how they can help us. They should reduce things. At least fuel of 18. If fuel reduce, all the other things follow will come down a little.
About the cost of something in Abuja, like food items. Like me now, I am a business woman. I am Madam Food. I'm doing a business of food. And now everything is cost now. Like this that we are buying 600 naira is 1,200. And now I'm going out. I'm going along another place to find out whether I go see cheaper price or something like that. It's transport. Okay. Transport now is another issue because the place that I'm always going like 15 naira is 100 naira, 200 now, and the thing is too much. The thing is for me, and I know that like others is like that. Let them bring down the fuel of a thing. Because I think that because of that fuel is all those transport issue or work or market, all those things is fuel. when once that fuel come down now, I believe that no how, even poor people, they must benefit on it.
That is affecting our living, honestly, because even transport now is a problem. So please, I will plead with the government to at least do something about the cost of living.
Cost of living in Abuja is very expensive, especially items in the market and house rent. Things are not easy for us. In Abuja here we have different areas, and depends of the area that you would like to go and you will rent your house. Like in Asokoro here, it's not easy because it's close to the town. So no, every house is very expensive because they will tell you even to build a house is not easy. Housing development, I don't know for now, but for things to come out, to come easier for us is when fuel come down, because if you go to market, even to build a house, one block is more than the way you expect. So things are not easy for everybody. Even for you to build is not easy. So even those who are renting, it's not easy for them. So once fuel is going to come down, then I believe things will also come down.
Things are very, very exorbitant now. The cost of living, first and foremost, the cost of accommodation, the cost of staple goods, the cost of everything has skyrocketed. So honestly, the cost of living is too high. It's too high. It is uncontrollable. I don't know how government will start, but truly people are suffering. People are suffering. Even last Christmas, a lot of people could not even afford food to eat in their house. Well, a lot of challenge of high cost of transportation. So many things. If I continue to say it until it gets to down, but the truth is that it is very expensive for you to transport yourself from your home to your working place, and from your working back to your home is too expensive. The government has to put palliative, especially on transportation and food. Actually, they have already removed the subsidy on fuel, and these are one of the things that caused this inflation, or maybe cost of living. But they have to put palliative, at least to ameliorate the suffering of the people.